Hey Ardent, welcome to Monday, May 4th. We're working through starting the week out with some lunging, or kind of our squatting movement that we're going through. So we're going to start out with an alternating back rack lunge today. On Monday, you're going to basically work through 6 sets total, right? 10 total reps, 5 each leg. Ideally, this is going to build in weight. So we would start with weight and add weight to it. So if you have a barbell and you have a rack, then you can put it on a rack and start increasing weight each set. This is kind of an every 2 minute on the minute type thing, but I'm just going to go ahead and give you like a good 12 minutes or so of working sets here. And you would increase. If you do not have a barbell, then you're going to use whatever you do have and work through it. But we'll start with the barbell, right? Ideally, this comes out of a rack. This would be onto the back rack as far as where it's going to begin. So Casey will demo that, right? This bar would be onto the back rack. And then what she's going to do is just get real aware of her spacing here, right? Like a typical squat stance. She will then work through a back rack lunge, and she's going to step back into this. So she's going to lunge back, tapping the back knee, and then alternating legs, right? We turn to the side profile. And if we're doing this correctly or thinking through this, right, we want to make sure we're still having good squat technique. So go ahead and work backwards. And that is that front shin. It still has somewhat vertical, but kind of a slight slant into there, right? We want to keep that same squatting movement as far as look goes onto the lunge, right? We do normal squat with a back squat for me. So in other words, that same shin angle is what we're kind of after onto the lunge as into the back squat, but we're just going to alternate lunging here, right? So she'll do 5 on each leg. Ideally, she would add weight to be able to do that. If we do not, again, have a barbell, then you will then go ahead and use anything you can get to then either bear hug this thing or put it in a goblet position. And if you have multiple weights, then you can use that and increase weight through there. If you have just one weight and one weight only in your whole household, then you're just going to work through it with the same weight. If you then would just kind of slow it down, maybe I only have like 30 pounds or something like that, right? Then I would just kind of slow down the squats, almost like a tempo type technique there, all right? So you'll work through that. You're then going to work through, second part is a 7-minute AMRAP. So 7 minutes, as many rounds as possible. And you're going to increase reps. It's like a ladder, right? You're working through a power snatch to an overhead squat. So ideally, this is just with a barbell, right? A 45-pound guy's bar, a 35-pound lady's bar. And you're going to work through a power snatch plus an overhead squat. So how that would look, because it's an empty bar, we're just going right below the knee. And then she will work through 1 power snatch. After she stands it up, she will then work through 1 overhead squat. This is a ladder, so she would come right back down into this and work through 2 power snatches and then 2 overhead squats, right? And it's meant to be light. It's meant to be very quick with a barbell, right? And you're trying to get through as many reps. Probably this first handful of rounds are going to be unbroken big sets of rounds here, right? The same thing can work with a dumbbell. You grab a dumbbell for me. The same thing would work with a dumbbell is you're going to go into that hang position, right, kind of maybe not all the way below the knee, but still really the same thing as far as a dumbbell goes, right? So you'll see her demo that dumbbell movement, right? So in the hang snatch, maybe more of a kettlebell. There you go. Perfect, go ahead and go. All right, so she would do that same hang power snatch thing here, right? And then she would overhead squat through that as well, and through that single or dumbbell or kettlebell or whatever else, right? So you're gonna work through the same exact thing just with one if you don't have a barbell, all right? So that's getting through, you're laddering through this, getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 7 minutes, should be quick and speedy. Other than that, that is your Monday. Enjoy.